British Home Secretary will soon decide whether or not to extradite Julian to the United States. After that time, we will have the opportunity to file our cross appeal. You'll remember that in January 2021, we won the case and the US had to appeal and ultimately had the decision overturned on the basis of a US assurance. We still have our outstanding appeal points that we will run if she orders his extradition, including important points about abuse of process and, of course, the important free speech arguments for all of the journalists in the room who are concerned about this precedent and what it means. If Julian's extradition is ultimately ordered and we're unsuccessful in our appeal, we will seek an appeal to the European Court of Human Rights, and we have a number of important outstanding appeal points in relation to the oppressive nature of the extradition and, of course, free speech. But this precedent is dangerous. It's dangerous for all journalists. If we are unsuccessful on the free speech points, it means that any journalist or editor or media worker in this country could face extradition and prosecution in the United States for publishing truthful information in the public interest. And that's dangerous, not just for Julian and for media workers here in the UK, but for media workers around the world. We want the ICC prosecutor. We're asking him to open an investigation and to prosecute those responsible. This is important because it sends a message not just to the Israeli forces but to governments around the world that targeting journalists is a war crime. But in the context of Israel, it's also, we argue, a crime against humanity because of the widespread and systematic nature of the targeting of Palestinian journalists. But it remains to be seen whether the ICC prosecutor will exercise his discretion, and we will continue to advocate for him to open that. And I wish to pay tribute to the IFJ for their incredible work alongside PJS in enabling this work on behalf of the victims and their bereaved families. This will set an important precedent for governments around the world to make clear that journalists are not fair game. Press freedom and the rights of journalists are at threat around the world. We're seeing increasing targeting of journalists in war zones, not just in Palestine, which relates to our ICC complaint, but also by Russia in the context of Ukraine. And this is a growing trend, which is why our ICC complaint and the ICC prosecutor prosecuting the case is so important as a deterrence to governments. But we also need to start looking at surveillance and the protection of journalist sources, and other unlawful arrests and detention that we're seeing of journalists around the world. We do need more action from democratic governments at the United Nations and to ensure and to make clear that these kinds of violations of human rights are unacceptable. The collective power of the unions through the IFJ is an incredibly important tool in coming together and putting pressure on your respective governments to take action and to raise these issues at the UN. And we continue to ask that you support us in this work and support the IFJ in their important international advocacy work. It's a privilege and an honour to represent the IFJ.